Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny and I am an intuitive astrologer. I teach energy healing and I channel the energy of Archangel Metatron. And we're going to talk today about the full moon happening in Sagittarius on the 29th. We're going to first do a little lesson about the royal stars. Make sure I get everything on the screen here. The four royal stars that are governed by the energies of the archangels Uriel, Gabriel, Michael, and Raphael. Because this full moon is conjunct the fixed star Antares, which carries the energy of Archangel Uriel. It's like they are the guardians it's the four corners of the earth, kind of. If you look at the way that the constellations work out with those. The sun will be conjunct Aldebaran, which is Archangel Michael's star. And so they will be working with the energies of this full moon right there. We've got Antares is about that the full moon is conjunct. First of all, it's happening at 19 minutes past the hour, wherever you are in the world. The number 19 carries great significance for a number of spiritual practices, very important in the Muslim faith, and in the Baha'i faith, they place a great significance on the number 19. That's the number of the books that they study, and it has to do with it's a symbol of the sun and the Prince of Heaven. It's also the number of surrender. And that's really a huge lesson for all of us right now with Uranus coming into Taurus. I know for myself and friends and then clients, it seems that there's a lot of people are going through a lot of different situations where they have no choice other than to just let go and let things happen. And that's really the lesson with Uranus, because Uranus brings in change. It's sort of like the universe steps in and brings changes that are for our highest and best, but we really feel like we have no control over what's happening. It's really teaching everyone how to surrender and how to let go, knowing that whatever happens will be for our highest good. So the fixed star Antares, where the full moon is happening, is the heart of the Scorpion. It's the constellation of Scorpius that rules Scorpio. It's happening in Sagittarius, so because of the tilt of the Earth in Western astrology, that's Sagittarius. But it's the heart of the Scorpion. So you look to the energy of Scorpio. Jupiter, which rules the constellation of Sagittarius, so the full moon is answering to Jupiter, is in Scorpio as well. Antares can be an energy of self-undoing, or where things are taken to extremes. And then we have the energy of Archangel Uriel, who is like the energy of lightning coming to the ground. I attended Amanda Ellis's workshop on the archangels in Dublin last year, and we broke into groups, and we let the energy of the different archangels come into one of us, and then the others in the group felt what that energy was like. I happened to be the one who took on the energy of Archangel Uriel, and it was literally like he came in and he grounded me so. I've never been so grounded in my life. I could see the white lightning shooting through the roots in my feet, deep, deep into the ground. And that's what Uranus is happening with Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is about bringing the higher cosmic energies into the earth. So you've got that energy happening with this full moon. And then Archangel Michael, Aldebaran, his fixed star, or the one that is associated with him, is about truth and equality and integrity, fairness and justice, the energy of Michael. These both have connotations of planets of war, or sorry, stars, the fixed stars of war. That's the way the ancients saw them. And also, I wanted to mention that the number 19, if you want to look up the Metonic cycle, it's about the different cycles of the moon. So this full moon is quite significant. The fact that it's happening conjunct the fixed star Antares, and then the sun being conjunct Aldebaran at the same time, quite significant for all of us. Jupiter, again, pushes us to the truth. Jupiter wants to know the truth. Jupiter is in Scorpio, and he's digging to the bottom, pulling up the secrets, pulling up things that are hidden, pulling up the things from the deep, maybe in our subconscious mind that we aren't aware of. So this, and full moons always bring illumination. So this will be something that comes to light that maybe you've been suspecting but weren't quite sure about, but it'll bring you revelation and highest truth, the energies of this full moon. And it won't necessarily happen, you know, that day, but because the full moon energies carry on. I feel like, you know, all of the energies, the energy with the Scorpio full moon and then this Sagittarius full moon, because the Scorpio full moon had Jupiter involved with it as well. Jupiter will begin to move forward on 7/11, July 11th. And so I've been saying, and I still say, that significant Earth changes will most likely, you know, start in earnest, is what I was hearing. End second part of July going through August, because Jupiter has been involved in those full moons. And once he starts moving forward, then he'll come to 13, which is the number of the divine feminine. He'll come to 13 degrees of Scorpio and move forward then beginning on July 11th. The only other, the planet Saturn will be, the full moon is happening at 8 degrees. And the planet Saturn will be at 7 degrees. He is on the Sabian symbol that is a prophet speaks, seized by the power of God. So again, it's another hint that things are going to come to light or be told that are truth. And the nodes of fate are at 9 degrees. So 9 denotes the culmination of a cycle before we're ready to move into another cycle. So that's the energy that we have with this big full moon happening in the sign of Sagittarius. Truth coming up, illumination coming up, and then I believe as far as Earth changes, that July 11th, you know, sometime after July 11th, we'll see an answer to these full moons that have been happening the past 3. Libra, because Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is, you know, governing Uranus in Taurus, that full moon, and then the Scorpio full moon and the Sagittarius full moon, which involved Jupiter. So the next day, on the 30th of May, we will see Mercury moving into Gemini. Gemini is about like fast movement. It's about travel, siblings, communications of any kind. He's moving very quickly through his sign. And we'll see just things pick up. The pace will pick up is what I'm feeling with that energy. What I'm being shown is that there'll be a lot of movement and activity. On the 1st, he will trine. So that's a nice aspect. It's a cooperative, an energy of cooperation. He will trine Mars. Mars is going to start his retrograde on June 27th, but he's slowing down significantly now. So Mercury will trine Mars. Mars is coming up to the south node in the sky right now. And anytime you're talking about in your own natal chart, or for us collectively, what's happening with the south node is the past, and it's also like lower energies. So we want to be careful now with Mars conjunct that we aren't, you know, losing our temper, you know, having any aggressive tendencies, anger. I believe with this Mercury-Mars energy that it's tempered a bit because they're both in air signs. But there'll be probably truths that come out, and maybe not said in the nicest way, but truth nonetheless, because Mercury and Gemini and then Mars and Aquarius. Gemini also takes two different views of things or can change his mind kind of thing. So it could be like going back to something from the past with the South Node involved, or it could be like a different way of looking at things or new information that comes out that kind of fills in the gaps of the story. We've also got Venus will begin moving. Venus, who it will be at 11 degrees, by the way, at the time of that full moon in Sagittarius and Cancer and water. And she's moving into a trine all week. We'll be feeling these energies. She's going to be moving toward a trine with Jupiter and Neptune. That Jupiter-Neptune trine is still going on. So with that, again, you're going to feel that, you can feel very euphoric, or you can spiral down very quickly. But it's kind of a feeling of being carried away, being swept away. So that on Thursday and Friday, Venus will move into that energy too. So they're all three in water signs. So you've got Venus, Neptune, and Jupiter. So that should temper, I think, the Mars-Mercury aspect that's happening. Again, though, Mars is being ruled by Uranus right now because he is in Aquarius. So you never can say with Uranus, like, exactly the way things are going to go. That's part of the charm of Uranus, is that you don't really know exactly what's going to happen. But with that Venus, Jupiter, Neptune energy, it can be a feeling of being swept away. So it's a great energy for romance. Anytime Neptune is involved, there can be, like, the lower energy of Neptune is like confusion or deception. Again, with that, and then it could also be like where you maybe want to make a purchase or spend more money than typically you would. So you want to be really careful about that kind of thing, like checking yourself, like, is this really, something that's necessary? If it's something that you're buying from someone, you want to make sure that you're getting all of, the truth of exactly what you're purchasing before you sign anything, with Neptune being involved. And yeah, you want to watch like the spending and eating too, because Venus is in Cancer. So it can be that we start eating kind of thing. And a lot, because there's Jupiter involved in it. So that happens on Thursday, Friday. On June 6th, then, we've got the Sun and Mercury meeting up in Gemini, and they will move into the degree where they're having a conversation with that Neptune trine Jupiter energy. So this can be things that just come to us as a knowing. It can be like get the gifts of spirit coming in, like, telling us something, or where someone says something to us that we know is a message that's important. Venus will be opposing Pluto that day. So it could be, any kind of change or revelations in love relationships, something that happens that's quite significant that just transforms the whole energy of a relationship, or, new information coming in about your divine life partner, something that, can happen like with psychic. Anytime Neptune's involved, you have like psychic stuff coming up. And then with that Venus and Pluto on the same day, it's really going to be like quite a significant day. That's June 6th, so it's 6/6, and that's the number of Venus. Mars, like I said, is going to be moving very slowly toward the South Node. So he'll be conjunct that South Node, and so he's still moving forward. So if there's things that you have been meaning to get off the ground, or, other actions or steps that you can take toward that before the 27th of June, that would be really good. On the 8th and 9th, then, there's just a lot of fire and air in the fire and air in the air. So that's, a combustible kind of energy. And then we come to the dark of the moon, because that's 3 days then before that new moon in Gemini. So that's a great time for releasing things, especially with Mars and the South Node. You want to take action toward like releasing the past, releasing negativity, any kind of like healing work that you do at that time would be like the energies are primed for that. And don't forget with that Jupiter, with the Jupiter, Neptune, and then the Jupiter, Pluto, and then Venus, Pluto, that's all an energy toward like building things. We still have that this year with, even though like collectively we're looking at a lot of earth changes going on for us individually. It's, you know, the master year, an 11 year, it's make or break, do or die, where you want to like start building things toward the building for the future is what you're looking at with all of those energies combined. So we still got quite a bit of, you know, energy that's like, you know, we're not all over the place, but you know, it's intense. It's still extremely intense. So, and with Antares, that's about the most intense fixed star that we have up there, with the full moon conjunct that. So we shall see what happens. This is a great time to just begin the practice in your meditation time of, you know, just saying out loud, I surrender and I let go and I trust the process of my own transformation and I allow the process of my own transformation without resistance. It just brings you such a feeling of peace, and you can kind of feel like yourself line up with that energy. I've been doing that pretty much every day. So my website is astrologyforascension.com. And what I do with natal chart readings is I do energy healing in relation to karma in the chart or negativity, the way that it's shown like through the planets. That is sort of like the blueprint of, well, it is like the blueprint of your soul. And so we go into past lifetimes if necessary, if not just removing the stories, by sharing forgiveness with yourself and then the soulmates involved. And then we transmute those energies to the higher vibrations of the planets. So everyone have a great couple of weeks. I will talk to you again this next week in meditation, and I'll upload a meditation. And I want to thank my clients this past week who have been very patient with me with the technical issues that I've been having. That's the reason that this video is going up when it is. But alas, it is finished. It was 4 tries. So everybody have a great couple of weeks. Remember to just spend time in meditation, deep breathing, helping to settle these energies into yourself, and then grounding is very important with this Neptune-Jupiter trine happening. We're tired and we're in our heads a lot, especially with all of the fire and air that's going to be going on. Good to get out of your head, get into nature, walk on the earth, take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass. So everybody have a great couple of weeks. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.